The desert city was alive with music and laughter. Neon lights reflected across the sandy streets while travelers and locals filled the night markets and bars. Among them was Rango, a wandering chameleon who loved adventure and strange places. That night he was celebrating with a group of friends at a loud desert bar. Music blasted through the building. Animals laughed and shouted over the noise. Rango placed his phone on the table while talking to his friends. Hours passed. Drinks were finished. Stories were told. And eventually everyone decided it was time to leave. As Rango reached for his phone, the table was empty. The phone was gone. Rango searched everywhere. Under the table, around the chairs, near the bar counter. But the phone was nowhere. One of his friends, a tall desert lizard named Kiro, handed him his phone. "Call your number," Kiro said. Rango dialed his phone. The call rang once, twice. Then suddenly, someone answered. But no voice came from the other side. Only silence. Then something else. Slow breathing. Very quiet, but clearly there. Rango frowned. "Hello?" No answer. Only the same quiet breathing. Then the call ended. The streets were nearly empty when Rango walked back to his apartment. The desert wind moved softly between the buildings. Something about the call felt wrong. If someone had taken the phone at the bar, why would they answer and say nothing? Rango reached his building. An old 3-story apartment block. The hallway lights flickered slightly as he climbed the stairs. Everything felt normal, quiet, peaceful. He unlocked the door and stepped inside. Rango walked into the kitchen, then suddenly froze. His phone was sitting on the kitchen counter, right in the middle, exactly where he usually left it. The same phone he had just called. The same phone that someone had answered. Rango slowly picked it up. The screen still showed the missed call from Kiro's number, which meant one thing. Someone had answered the call. Inside his apartment. The apartment suddenly felt different. Too quiet. Rango looked around slowly. The living room was empty. The hallway was dark. Everything looked normal. But something in the air felt wrong. Then he heard it. A soft sound from the hallway. A small movement, like someone shifting their weight on the floor. Rango stood completely still, listening. Silence returned, but his heart began beating faster. Rango slowly walked through the apartment. The bathroom door was open, empty. The bedroom looked normal, but something strange caught his eye. The closet door was slightly open. Rango was sure he had closed it before leaving. He walked closer, slowly pushing the door open. Inside, nothing, just clothes hanging quietly. But the smell of something unfamiliar lingered in the air. Someone had been here. Suddenly the phone in Rango's hand began vibrating. Kiro was calling again. Rango answered. "Did you find it?" Kiro asked. "Yeah," Rango said slowly. "It was already here." Kiro paused. "That's weird." Then Rango heard something strange. Not from the phone. From behind him. A slow breath. Very close. Right behind his shoulder. The same breathing he had heard earlier. Rango slowly turned around. The hallway behind him was empty, but the apartment door was slightly open. Rango was sure he had locked it. A cold feeling spread across his body. Whoever had been inside the apartment had not left earlier. They had waited, hidden, watching, and when Rango returned, they quietly walked out. Only seconds ago. Rango walked slowly to the door, his hands shaking slightly. Then he noticed something on the wall beside the door. A small mirror. Something written across the dusty surface. For words, drawn slowly with a finger. "I was here first." Rango's heart stopped for a moment. Someone had been inside his apartment, answering his phone, watching him, standing only a few steps away. Later that night Rango sat quietly in the living room. The apartment lights were on. Every door was open. Every corner checked. But the feeling never disappeared. The feeling that someone had been there, watching, waiting. Then he looked down at his phone again, and noticed something that made his blood run cold. A new contact had been saved. A contact he never created. The name written on the screen was simple, Neighbor, and the phone number attached to it was his own.